Living with type 1 diabetes can be a constant challenge, but T1D Warriors is on a mission to make that journey just a little bit easier. This inspiring organization is empowering families, raising awareness, and creating a supportive community for those living with type 1 diabetes. And joining us today are two people who deeply are committed to this cause. Heath Norcliffe, a founding board member of T1D Warriors, and Karishma Tilton, a nurse practitioner at Cincinnati Children's Hospital who works directly with young people facing type 1 diabetes. And good morning, and thanks so much for being here.
Good morning.
Such an important topic. Let's start with you, Heath. Can you share a little bit about how the nonprofit was started? And I understand you have a personal connection.
I do. So it was started by my dear friends Monica and Aaron Gums after their son Austin was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. And I've literally known Austin since the day he was born. I mean, I have a picture of me holding him in the hospital the day after he was born. So I've literally known the kid his whole life, and I know what kind of child he is, and I know what this journey's been like for them and the steep learning curve that kind of came at the very beginning as they were thinking about meal planning and understanding all the different treatments and things available to them to help do this, and waking up in the middle of the night and testing the kids' levels. It's so tough, and the idea behind this is to help provide resources to help the next family shorten that learning curve in the beginning of the diagnosis.
Yeah, because if you're experiencing it, you kind of know what families might need. Karishma, let's get to you. Can you tell us about the difference between type 1 and type 2? I think people often confuse the two.
Absolutely. So type 1 diabetes is a lifelong condition that occurs when the body attacks its own insulin production. So we all need insulin. It's produced in our pancreas. And insulin and sugar or glucose from the foods we eat help us make energy.
Okay, so what are some of the early signs of type 1 diabetes specifically?
So the earliest signs of type 1 diabetes are commonly increased urination or thirst, unintentional weight loss, blurry vision, headaches or stomach aches. And we really encourage families, if you notice any of these signs or symptoms, it's really important to follow up with your pediatrician or primary care provider.
Okay, tell us a little bit, Heath, about the programs that you're aspiring to develop. What unique services will they provide to individuals and families impacted by type 1?
Sure. First, I mean, ultimately the goal is a cure.
Yes.
But we do have some pillars that we want to support that. So one is education, the second is enrichment, and the third is funding. The idea with education is one of the first things we want to do is create a program that's aimed at schools and athletic teams. The idea is to provide resource and training to coaches and staff and other parents so that they can fully understand what T1D is and how a child who's dealing with it has to be managed through a game or a classroom situation. And this creates a more safe environment for that child,
right,
as well as a fully inclusive environment. And then the other thing that we want to do is through enrichment. Enrichment is by providing some experiences for these families impacted by T1D. For example, recently through our Facebook community, we did a drawing and we sent a young lady and her family to the Kids Bob concert in Cincinnati.
Oh, nice.
And to see the pictures and the kind of the excitement and the joy that you see in these faces, it just motivated us to want to be able to provide more of these kind of immediate positive impact experiences for these folks. And then the other thing is funding.
Yeah.
And the idea behind that is we're looking to try and create money, raise money to help support our engagement and our enrichment, and as well as then provide money to folks doing vital diabetes research. And then the other thing that we're trying to develop is a T1D disaster unit. The idea is during a natural disaster, critical supplies and medicine could be impacted and kept away from somebody. So the idea is to develop a unit to take into these natural disaster areas and provide these medicines and these supplies.
You don't think about that either. That's a really...
And we tried that recently, so we just kind of tested the concept after the 2 hurricanes in Florida, and we had a bunch of donated supplies here in Greater Cincinnati. We had a team load it up and take it down and provide it to the various organizations and individuals. And the really cool thing was it kind of gave us a first-hand look at what it takes and how to do it.
Okay. Rachel, before we go, what is some of the advice that you give to your patients?
We really like to stress at Cincinnati Children's that managing type 1 diabetes is a lot of daily work, but with the right support from family members and friends, a diabetes care team, appropriate treatment, we really want people to live long, healthy lives, and they can thrive in careers and work and sports and whatever they really want to do.
Okay, if people want more information about T1D Warriors, where can they go?
T1DW.org/get involved. They can go there and learn. There's so many ways you can be involved in this, and it doesn't always just have to be about money.
Okay.
It could be time volunteering, helping at events, and helping spread awareness. So there's really a lot of meaningful ways you can participate. And while you're on our website, scroll to the bottom, find our socials, and give us a follow.
Okay, thanks so much. Heath and Karishma, we really appreciate this important information.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.